Hello and welcome to News Across Nigeria. I'm Olumide Macaulay. Coming up on the program, workers in Oyo State press home their demands with a 3-day warning strike. We'll take a look at the latest unemployment figures released earlier in the week by the National Bureau of Statistics. And the impact of the fuel crisis on Nigeria's economy. Many thanks again for joining us. We begin with an update on the protests of the Bring Back Our Girls group. Members of that group are demanding an apology from the presidency after the arrest and harassment of their members. The co-convener of the group, Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, also threatens legal action against the federal government if harassment continues. For the second time this week, members of the Bring Back Our Girls group took to the streets, took a walk to the gate of the presidential villa, but were again denied entrance by men of the Nigeria police force.
The president needs to tell us why our fundamental rights have been abused. We have steadfastly been known as a movement that has never behaved in an unruly manner. We're a very disciplined group, well-organized group. We have had our marches. We have usually come to the Villa Gate, had our activities, and have not in any way done anything that has disturbed the public peace. Why was the police sent after the members of the Bring Back Our Girls movement yesterday? What kind of repressive era have we entered into? We will not accept that. The president is the one in control of the police. He needs to say to us that this was a big mistake. They apologize and that it will never happen again. I need to remind the president that when in the previous administration, the government decided that it was going to ban the Bring Back Our Girls movement, we went to the courts to challenge it. We won that case in October 2014.
Former Education Minister Dr. Obi Ezekwesili and co-convener of the Bring Back Our Girls group. Now, in the southwest, labor unions in Oyo State have directed workers to stay away from work for 3 days starting today. It's a warning strike endorsed by the Nigeria Labour Congress, the Trade Union Congress, and the Joint Negotiating Council. The demand is for the state government to address 3-month strike in tertiary institutions run by the state, the dismissal of over 200 members of the staff of Ladoke Akintola University Teaching Hospital, Ogbomoso, and lingering complaints of workers in the health sector. Other issues include 56 months of unpaid pensions and gratuities of retired primary school teachers and a stall in workers' promotion since 2010. Now, Amaechi Asugini, Vice President, Nigeria Labour Congress, the Trade Union Congress, and the Joint Negotiating Council in Oyo State have directed workers in the state to embark on a 3-day strike action. Joining us on the program is Amaechi Asugini. Now, thank you for joining us on News Across Nigeria. The 3 labor unions, if you can hear me, have called for a 3-day strike action. Can you speak more on the cause of this action you're taking?
Yeah, I think the labor action with regard to the warning strike that has already begun is in line with best practices of trade union and industrial relations all over the world. And I think people should begin now to put record straight that strike actually is not supposed to be a routine practice that employers of labor should begin now to experience the consequence of strike time without number. But eventually, they should be more interested in solving problems, nipping them in the bud. The issue of Oyo State did not start today. And then when you're owing workers' salaries and gratuities are not paid, the constitutional purposes for these legitimate claims are defeated. And we shouldn't allow workers to resort to strike on a regular basis only in the demand of their own right. I think this is absolutely condemnable, that the state governor will not live up to his responsibilities, and these are duty bound assignment that governors should pay salary as at when due, and where it has failed, explain the possible ways they can achieve it without necessarily provoking the workers. The labor union in Oyo State put up a letter to His Excellency demanding for audience, and for 7 days that letter notice elapsed. The governor did not deem it necessary to neither invite the labor nor send a correspondence to the regard of the issue in question. And that elapsed yesterday, and then the strike started today. But I'm very, very optimistic that should this warning strike also end by Friday, and the governor is still adamant to the healing of these workers, I think the indefinite strike action will be also backed upon by the National Labour Congress. And we have no regret to that action.
Now, in light of the state government's decision to sack over 200 members of the Laduke Akitola Teaching Hospital, what's the NLC's stance on this issue?
The same proposal formed part of the anti-labor practices of the state. And I think the world should actually take note that where government have resolved to regularly violate rights of workers, and rather than creating jobs, now take advantage in sacking workers as if it's part of governance achievement. We should also do everything possible to resist it vehemently, because these are things done in the past, and probably they believe nobody will speak. But I think Nigeria Labour Congress in its recent organ meetings have resolved that governors that have also resolved to do against the will and the right of the workers should also receive the legitimate resistance from the labor angle. Definitely the action and proposal to sack workers is
let's change gears now.
It's unacceptable, it's anti-constitution, and must be resisted to the letter.
That's well taken. We now also like to quickly touch on the issue of unemployment in Nigeria. Alarming statistics that we have from the National Bureau of Statistics. We understand that about 16 million people were unemployed in the third quarter of 2017. The percentage of that from other sources is as much as 33% of Nigerians who are not employed. What's the NLC's position on how the government can reduce these numbers?
I think the answer to unemployment challenge in Nigeria is possibly the problem of governance. You agree with me that the mismanagement of our economy has resulted to this issue of unemployment from stages to stages, getting widening on a yearly basis. And we now receive and release statistics as against the advantage of a nation. And we should begin now to see the rate of insecurity in Nigeria is something that we believe that unemployment should be one of those factors that should be solving the problem. Unfortunately, there is no program in place to even establishing hope for the Nigerians. The rate of unemployment, especially in the bracket of youth in this country, is widening, is imposing more threat to the peace and rather social peace of Nigeria. And I believe the only thing that should be done is the government to understand this fact, acknowledge and take responsibility that in all your effort to address this you have failed, then take it up, take appropriate step that will eventually reverse this fear. Because you may not know until it happens again. As a matter of fact, the unemployment in this country is a threat to the nation. And somebody was saying the other day that there's no way workers, the number of people we have found in these criminalities and all the activities that negate the constitution of this country, they are found in the bracket of people not working.
Thank you, Mr. Asugini. Thank you very much, Mr. Asugini. We'll have to stop you there. Thank you so much for coming on News Across Nigeria, Mr. Amaechi Asugini, the Vice President, Nigeria Labour Congress. Now, Taraba, we're going to take a break now, still to come on the program. Residents of Ijegun in Navy Town in Oyo State are scampering for safety following a fire incident. That's in a moment. Please stay with us.